Okay, we're back. We are back. We are back. Naren, my, what a pleasant surprise. If you come to inquire about the Archons, fear not. Master Montoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing the corporeal ether. Mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. Oh, we can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. Oh, if only we could go to the first and help. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Oh, it's Maxima! Ah, Naren. It's been far too long, my friend. Ah, Maxima. Good to see you. Forgive me, I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garlean ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under auspices of Commander Aldin, offering what counsel I can in hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Ah, yes, I heard stories of a defector from Garlemald, but never mind that. You said you have urgent news. Indeed. As you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and the sizable portion of Garlean forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dark. With the numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed the most unexpected visitor who claims that the de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Commander Aldin has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it's clear whom he wished to extend this invitation. Would seem time is of the essence. Well, you'll not be attending this meeting alone, though I am not as well as versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades. I see no reason to bother a single Scion with all this. Thanks, Kyle. Yes, of course. Then we must make for the Alamegan cordon with all haste. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two. Lore time. So, with the Second Legion being, well, with Civil War currently happening in Garlemald, and the Second Legion being deployed at the Gimlet Dark, they've withdrawn away and are now currently in a more neutral zone, not participating in the either conflict. To explain why the Second Legion has not come and harassed anybody, especially me. Sorry, I was setting a few things up, answering a couple messages. Commander Aldin awaits us in the Royal Palace, if you would follow me. It's Gaius.
They're here, Commander.
Oh, it's voiced.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the Scions spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury. I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea.
Belsar.
Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
Shh.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals? With which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed. Few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanus, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea. We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon, and emerged victorious. We need you. And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
And that leads into the weapon storyline, which I did last week. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day, the plight of the Scions grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. And that guy just teleports away. I take it you're ready to return to the first, but I would ask that you apprise the others of recent events here on Source. Namely, Xenos' return and development of a new Ultima weapon. As for the bodies, you may assure them Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep the corporeal ether stable. Safe travels, Darren. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. What do you mean? Duffelgate. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and the means to return the Scions home. I trust that you have been making good use of your time. Yeah, but I do have news to share. Ill tidings from the source, you say. Then I will summon the others that we might be apprised of the situation.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source?
Okay, so the Empire's developing a new Ultima weapon. Also, Xenos is back from the dead, fully.
A new Ultima weapon? We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Becklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
Ching, sparkle, sparkle.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both, that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allagan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allagan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it will be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Ligland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. Sin Eater? A Sin Eater? I heard some few yet remained after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call for the others? That will not be necessary. There's only a single Sin Eater, a simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness will prove a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men will do well to learn from your example. Let's be about it then. Excellent, then let us make for Fort Job. You could wait here a moment, I will gather the others. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. It was at Death's Door the day you came after the Sinian attack. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd have likely stepped through, and I wouldn't have been alone. Courage and selflessness is something we aspire to. I too was there on that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sinian before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut down. Thought of returning to the field of holding the blade again filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her or my comrades, so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. A pleasure to meet you, sir, truly. Seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride an armor road to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think that you Moran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side. But we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. We seem to be missing one. My apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. Won't happen again. The name's Thaler. Thaler? Thaler? Thaler. Sure you don't remember, but we met once before in the infirmary. Oh yeah, him. I asked you to deliver the message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up, don't give in. Keep those words close to my heart. The boundless beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what has become, what was to come. There are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They give their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know, and so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up, we won't give in. Your heroism inspired all their guardsmen in much the same manner. Our guards at Northern Staging Point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let's not keep them waiting. Ugh. Oh, well, looks like they got the eater.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself? Certainly it is no Light Warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness? And he says, no, I'm a warrior of light. And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the Warrior of Darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
Well, damn.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this Warrior of Light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world.
I'll be right back. Back.
Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
No better time than right now.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
And it's raining. But will it be raining in the cutscene? The answer is yes.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating.
Huh?
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man. A younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
He's lost without you, you know, and he misses you.
Are you sure? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. You know, it's weird how we never got that salute. I was quite shocked to hear what we found in Lakeland, but now that you're here, there's a proposal I should like to make. I've been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I've noted more and more people perusing books on history, the years leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as well as they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as sin eaters or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that the sudden appearance in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors may lead to growing unrest and fear. The people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehoods found within many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I am not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I too would have no reason to question their narrative. Unfortunately, the knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, their reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remain those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the Flood. Considering all the good they had done, I find it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought justice to the men who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Ardbert. To such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as sin eaters is absurd. Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew firsthand of the deeds dwindled. In the end, the only truth remained: they were the cause of the Flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the Warriors of Light to become villains deserving of only resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all of you, however, their lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claimed it was Ardbert who helped you overcome Emmett's Selk, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I've shared with this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Alphinaud's plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recounted them the true tale of the Wars of Light and the Flood that followed in the wake. Well, what say you, Mirren? Spread the word, I say. Then we're all of one mind on the matter. Good. Exarch, might I ask that you continue working with Beck Lug on the means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the etc. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. I got a lot of people to talk to. Might as well work my way across. Yeah, I'll start from the cabinet. And the bird. The anti-bird. I know this can't be. Surely there's at least one book here that's not cast the Warriors of Light and the deeds in such a negative light. Hey, Morin. Oh, Nir, forgive me. The Cabinet of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks the knowledge they seek. We wish to know the truth of the flood of the Warriors of Light. There's high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sinuous. Abominations worthy of only scorn and resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, yet I can find no proof. I dare call myself a librarian. We're gathering around to tell them about that. You will address the people and tell them the truth of the Warriors of Light, or the flood. Wonderful. You've regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. Oh, that's down below. Well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over the letter I received from Retold not long ago. It says a visitor from the Crystarium found him at the bottom of the ocean, and that inspired him to reach new artistic heights. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats, though I'd say the latter is far more impressive. I think you could bring the two of you together in such a place. I'm sorry, you mean the exarch didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Yeah, and my, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hope you being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had fewer patients coming through my door of late, which is a shame, come to think of it. Few opportunities to test my new medicines. I jest, of course. It's actually been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and again. Spread the word. The truth about the Warriors of Light. But the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, there's more to the tale. I'd very much like to hear it. Boy, I really wish it would not be raining right now. So I hope the cutscene that triggers corrects the weather. Come to browse the wares in the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need, whatever it may be. Under Yulmar's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Whereas that fellow from Darla Stainworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is booming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Norvrent reaps the benefits, but you'll not come to talk about the market. Something on your mind? I see, the Exarch did mention they had something to do with the returning Knight of Norvrent. Alright, consider my interest piqued. How do I get up there to that one? Well, I have to find a way up and jump across the tops. Like so. Overshot it, but I can make it. Knowledge for DawnTrail. To get that little bit of EXP boost for Viper. Oh, yeah, that's how it is. Well, what do we have to play here? Whatever it is, I may ask you to be brief, but in that return, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I find myself too busy by half. I don't mind though, seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement. One can almost forget the flood ever happened. Thinking of the flood and the warriors of light who may have caused it. Warriors of light, yes, I know the Exarchus mentioned them before, but everyone knows them as the cardinal virtues. Or are suggesting there's more to the tale than that. Well, you get to steer us wrong, so I wanted to hear what you have to say. There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we sought the Crystarium from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather. Fixed weather? Excellent.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
All right. People of the Crystarium, long have you learned that the cause of the flood was none other than the previous Warriors of Light, Ardbert and his known companions. Yet, in by doing the very deeds that they were hailed as heroes from, they were all part of a machinational plans led by the Ascians. For every good thing they did, the light did sway stronger and stronger. But that is no excuse to hail them as villains, for all that they did for the people of Norvrant. When the time came, they gave everything. Every single ounce of themselves to halt the flood. And in my hour of need, they arose to help me. They never stopped being heroes.
The Warriors of Light did all that?
Don't interrupt me.
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
Wait, what?
Impossible.
Oh, good. You see him too now. You can see him too.
I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay. Yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
What in the world?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the Warrior of Darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time. Though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium! I am Ardbert. One of those you know as a Warrior of Light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The hero who stands before you now, the Warrior of Darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home. But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new Warriors of Light!
What? Us? Warriors of Light?
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
Alright, keep an eye on him.
So, that is a Warrior of Light of the First. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
No, absolutely not.
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yet that which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
that he is an ascian.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the Virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emet-Selk's failure here in the First, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen? My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Sometimes they choose someone who's still alive.
For they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emet-Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while La Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps? Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe, as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful. Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more. nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
'Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
You did well to dispel the falsehood surrounding the Warriors of Light and their actions prior to the Flood, though I must say the reappearance of Ardbert, or rather the one who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. He's an impostor, of that there is no doubt, but the Masters will appear a hero returned from the grave. After the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulebor, the people prayed fervently for the gods to deliver them from the blight, prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for their sacrifices. What bitter irony. I, for one, would like to know why Ardbert urged the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. Ere we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Let us pray that Master Alphino returns soon with the most essential knowledge. For now, I think it best to apprise Thancred and Reen of our efforts. When we do confront Ardbert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what's to come. Beglug and I will continue our research into how we might improve the spirit vessel, and that it might one day carry you home. I think it's time I return to the Great Wood. Until now, everything we have learned of the Ascians has been handed to us at our leisure. But that was one of Emmett Silk's unique failings. I have no reason to think Elidibus will be as forthcoming. Fortunately, I recently received word from Venat that heretofore unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Katana Ravel. Emmett believes the relics will tell of the great calamity that befell an ancient civilization, that of the Ascians, perhaps, may lead us to truths we seek. Be sure to let me know how that works out. I fail to see why that would be necessary given that you'll be accompanying me. Don't be coy, it doesn't suit you. Whether you are, when you are ready, make for now. Almets and assistants will be expecting us. Then let us be about our tasks. Pray give my regards to the V's. Oh, I should probably just teleport to Retica Greatwoods. Welcome, allies of Ronka. We have accomplished much since you last came. With the Light Warren dead and its means dispersed, we have at last reclaimed our hunting grounds near Arctica Falls. It was there that we discovered more ruins. Although we ran afoul of no traps while exploring its halls, we determined the innermost chambers were warded by magic. We were all in agreement before any investigation could proceed. You should be summoned. We are grateful that you did. From what you have told me, I strongly suspect that the wisdom of my comrades and I seek can be found within. Wisdom could prove invaluable, for we may soon face a foe whose greatest asset is our ignorance. I see. Then it is good that you have come, for Aranka was once home to the greatest of weapons, knowledge and understanding. Come on, controller, there we go. It is our duty to ensure that you and yours do not want for either. That said, we must proceed with caution. To reach the innermost chamber unmolested suggests a more formidable deterrent yet lies within. Come now, surely any threat sleeping within the ruins pales in comparison to those we faced thus far. This is not some game, sister. You should not be so eager to run headlong into danger. Oh, and who was it pining for the return of our allies that we might venture into the ruins, clutching her staff at night, wishing it were... You promised not to tell. Then I suggest we be going. Get back here. Remind me, exactly how old are you and your sisters? On second thought, perhaps it's for the better, I do not know. Pray forgive their overzealous nature. None save we three have been privileged to escort you and yours into the ruins, and bear witness to its secrets. Our hearts now burn with a curiosity that is not easily satiated. Please, you needn't apologize. As a seeker of knowledge myself, I understand full well their enthusiasm. Were it not for your assiduous efforts to protect the ruins, we would not be afforded this opportunity. Speaking of which, I believe I have kept you away from the ruins long enough. Come, let's make for a katana raffle. It is most strange for these halls to be left unguarded. Have care when breaking the seal on the chamber door. Danger surely awaits within on the other side. Set me it very easy, please.
Come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast. Though that much is plain from its proportions.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed. Why you... Ugh.
This owl, by contrast, seems no different from the others we've seen.
The sealed door lies ahead.
Ominous.
As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
Too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism. Just a moment. There are words carved into the stone. He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber shall instead waken the beast and know his folly. Wait! Don't!
What? But I only... What is happening?
Put it back.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it lives!
Why am I not surprised? Prepare yourselves.
Well, that was Jeanette. Guys. Hello. Oh. You. Oh no, they've returned the Trouble Triad cards. You trespass mortal upon sacred ground. In retribution for souls have I bound. Yet to heroes proven learned and wise, a Karmat's soul shall be the prize. If you would see they're set free, answer me these riddles 3. Oh, the Sphinx, great. Depth of paw and kin do I buy, though sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts descry. What am I? Depth of paw with kin do I vie, though sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts describe. What am I? Depth of paw. Well, Corels, right? Alas, 'twas the opal, keen and shrewd, its spirit exalts ingenuity, virtue by the wrong did prosperity pursue. Shit. For this mistake, a single talisman I shall take. With fearsome fang, I travel with pack. Together we find harmony, and thus peace in our land does not lack. What am I? Okay, pack. The wolf. Indeed, it was the spirit of the wolf with that doctrine's praise, that they would know peace and harmony in other days. The riddles answer you discern, thus a soul to you returned. Oh, cement, cool. On my belly do I crawl, by my strength does prosperity reign from our hall. What am I? It is a snick. Indeed, the dread serpent turned protector, lured to slumber, heard to tell the world asunder. The riddles answer you to discern, and thus to you a soul returns. Desire that which yet I claim, then we shall play another game. I test the memory in mind, choose wisely, and you may all yet go free. Hey, that didn't rhyme. Twixt the talisman's hide friend and foe, choose your companions well or sorrow no. No, I got a freebie, because you didn't rhyme. Ah, okay. So I gotta find Y'shtola and her. Okay. Nope. Okay, does not match. Okay. Alright, don't want this to match, that's an enemy. Actually, now that I have one, I can find both. Okay, no. Okay, that's another enemy. There's Y'shtola, which leaves one of these threes as the other one. So, okay, Y'shtola returned. Uh-huh. Nice. The comrades are assembled together at last. Yet there still remains one trial you must pass. If you would glean the knowledge enshrined in this earth, I would first take the measure of your worth. One worthy of she who wrong has extolled must be strong of mind, body, and soul. Finally, this is what I was expecting to find here in the ruins. Be careful, sisters. Hold nothing back. Failure of this test does not appear to be an option. Quickly fan up before it strikes. Ah, they're fine. Victory off the gag, sacrifice, which of you will pay the price?
Here I come!
Whoa. impressive. You may think you have won, but we've only just begun.
This and that and this!
Quick, you shoulder, do a limit break. Stack the limit breaks.
Away with you!
Well fought, hero, the trial is complete. The way is open, and thus I concede defeat.
Twould seem the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
Ah, we were bound to run into a living statue eventually. And now we can open the door.
I like her. She's funky. What have we learned about touching stuff in the booby trap dungeon? Ah, it worked out in the end. Look, the door can open now.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber. A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
She is Vis. Could it be the Archmage Tiuna? A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation. So potent was her spellcraft, though she ever fought in the name of peace.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, I for one always believed.
I wonder. By the light of fallen stars, great power awakens.
Tiuna was not only a master of spellcraft. It is said she could see truths long lost and hear the voices of men's hearts.
Naught less than the echo. In which case, none of this is mere coincidence. A shower of stars setting the sky aflame. And in both this world and the Source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight. We can never unpick the why of it. Now, however, I believe we might. Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel? Moreover, Does it not recall that which Emet-Selch invited us to witness in Amarot? The final days. If, as the Exarch's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable trigger? The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory. But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided, it would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar. I shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence. Still, I cannot choose but be reminded of our experience in Amarot.
I will not soon forget it.
Remember us.
Remember that we once lived.
History is learned, not lived. We have always protected the tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us. We see the past through our own eyes, and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
Your mothers were wise. Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions could not fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently. We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emet-Selch and his kin. But we have disturbed Tiuna long enough. Venat will serve similarly well as a venue for our contemplations.
By your pensive expression, I take it the tomb has given you much to think about. That is well. In the meantime, the knowledge you have gleaned will lead to an understanding and thus arm you for what is to come. Before you leave, however, I would speak again of the teachings of our forebears, of histories learned, not lived. The legend of Tiuna and her exploits have been told countless times over the centuries, yet as it is handed down from one generation to the next, the story changes. With each telling of the tale, there are new flourishes, details changed or lost. We can never truly know how she lived, for we were not there to see it. But we are here now to bear witness to your life. We have seen the change you have wrought, the echoes that will endure long after you are gone, and though it too will change in time, I swear to you, we shall do our best to preserve your story. I hope you forgive me if I don't make an oath of my own, but I think it goes without saying we could never misspeak your heroism. Perish the thought, so long as we are here, there are none among the bees who will not know you all that you have done for Northrend. We are not deserving of such reverence, but we are grateful all the same. You can be certain we will have our own tale to tell with the great guardians of Raktika and the ruins of Ronka. I pray you safe travels then. As ever, we shall await your return with open arms. Although we learned naught of the Ascians, the insight we gained into the Echo made our trip worthwhile. Before we return to the Crystalium, however, there is a small matter I would attend to instead of when I trouble you to come with me. Thank you. After we arrive, we should have a brief word with Runa. There he is. Naren, it's good to see you. And you arrived at the most opportune time. I was preparing my pot of my famous stew. Come, I'll ready a place for you. I'm sorry, Runar, but we haven't, Please, I insist. We'll only take a minute. My apologies, Naren. Seems our return to Crystarium will be delayed. But we do get a pot of stew. Perhaps only a little bit, if you assist me with my work. I say work, but it's rather more a chore. I must clean my chambers here and the Citadel from top to bottom. Be so kind as to go and fetch a broom from Eskier before we might finish before Runar is done cooking. Eskier, I need a broom. A broom for Master Montoya. I don't imagine why she needs such a thing, but here you are. So that's 30 should suffice. Thank you. I trust Skier was able to find a broom for us. This well-worn broom has seen many a spring and summer in the Citadel, swishing and sweeping, sweeping and swishing. Well worn. Good. This would prove difficult otherwise. I must say I think I did rather well for not having a broom thus far. Yes, well, you weren't buried beneath a veritable avalanche of books when you entered, were you? Right. Anyway, it's time we finish cleaning cleaning with the help of the broom. Are you sure about this? You don't honestly think I'd do it the old-fashioned way. The broom is more than capable of sweeping by itself. Or rather, it will be. Time to rise, to swish and sweep. A tidy chamber you must keep. To this task you shall be bound, until there is no dust to be found. Magical bang! Swisharoo. In this one particular respect, I have no objections to following in Master Montoya's footsteps. In future, I may need you to remind me that the pursuit of knowledge does not preclude any other equally important duties, such as maintaining clean quarters for said pursuit. I will dearly miss this place, these people. Master Montoya, beg pardon the interruption, but the stew is ready. Yum, stew. Is something troubling you? You've been rather quiet. No, everything is fine, I assure you. It's been a long day is all. I see. Still, thank goodness you're still here. Ah, it's Alpha now. Alphino, I thought you were following Ardbert. I was, though I'm sad to say I lost track of him shortly after entering these woods. He seemed determined to traverse every ilm of Norvrent in his quest to spread the truth of the Warriors of Light and the Flood. And it seems news of your address to the Crystarian precedes him at every destination, making his task all the more simple. Seems it remains to be seen what end he encourages the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. There's no denying that his words have struck a chord with many. Well, we're all agreed that this is another ascian ploy, yes? They've commandeered corpses before, and to no good end. I see no reason to think this time is any different, especially when it's that of a fallen Warrior of Light. I doubt we'll learn more if we remain a step behind. His next destination in all likelihood is Slitherbow. Alzay, are you certain you should be here? If you're concerned about Harrick and the others, you needn't be. Their treatment is going well, but progress is slow and exhausting for all of us. The best thing I can do now is let them rest. So I believe we were able to discuss how to arrange a meeting. I believe we're about to discuss how to arrange a meeting with this would-be Warrior of Light. Before visiting any towns or villages, Ardbert would hunt down and slay nearby Scions to earn the local trust. Our best chance of getting ahead of him is to find one before he does. Thankfully, Thancred and Reen have returned from the empty and have taken up the search. Reen believeth one may lurk beneath the boughs of the woven oath. And that is where we will start our search. Master Matoya. A warm bowl of stew will be waiting for your return. I look forward to it. Lahi?
If you were hoping to vent your frustrations on our Issa friend here, I can only apologize.
Few as they are now, it took us no time at all to track it down.
That suits our purpose perfectly. Now we need only wait for Ardbert to arrive.
Weren't you two meant to be attending to the empty?
We were, and are, but we can hardly ignore the rest of the world. So we thought we might see how things were coming along. From what we can gather, the answer is strangely.
Right now, we think we can do more good here.
It is heartening to have all present.
Indeed. We will be glad of the additional hands should matters escalate.
Our quarry has come.
It seems I've lost this particular race. Although I suppose it's only fair. When we first met, it was I who outpaced you. Ravana, was it? But where are my manners? I wouldn't be here were it not for you, and I have yet to say a word of thanks.
Indeed.
Arm giving you trouble? You should have it examined.
Oh, that confirmed it. So, who the hell are you? Oh, yeah. You know, thought you were supposed to be good at this.
Very well. Let us forego this pretense. After all, it was never you that I needed to deceive. Yes, it is I, Elidibus. Through your time in Emet-Selk's imitation of our home, I dare say you have gained a better understanding of my role since last we met. Not that it matters.
We understand your role, emissary, but not your goal. What is it that you seek to achieve?
I seek to enact the will of the Convocation, of course. If it helps you to think of me as but another ascian, no different in nature or purpose from the rest, you are welcome to do so.
Once, I would have said your goal was destruction alone. Now I understand that you fight for something you love, just as we do. Yet though we seem doomed to clash, I bid you consider Emet-Selk's final words. Remember that we once lived, he said. Had he not seen some glimmer of hope in our kind, I do not believe he would have spoken thus.
None better understood your plight than he. His words must surely be worthy of your consideration.
Emet-Selk. How very unlike you to err so gravely. That one should stray at the end of so onerous a path is understandable. But I had thought you above such weakness. Mayhap you thought the same. Would that I had been present to offer correction. But I shall do so now, as is my duty, and return all to its proper course. As for you, look at yourselves. Look at your history. Look back 100 short years to how your greatest warriors were undone. And now, at but a word from me, you raise your hands in answer like the puppets you are. Naught has changed. You fail, and you fail, and you learn nothing. Allow that which is most important to slip through your fumbling fingers like so many grains of sand, again and again and again, and you would remember us. You do forget yourselves. There is no common ground to be found between you and I. Nor do I require any. I have my duty.
Wait!
Well, we have confirmed the identity of our foe at least. And 'tis safe to say his objective is the rejoining.
But we still have no idea how playing the part of a warrior of light will further his cause, nor why he would spur others to do the same.
Another visit to the Tempest may shed some light upon these mysteries. Whether we are to exchange words or blows with Elidibus at our next meeting, the fact remains, we know too little. Ere our paths cross again, I would learn more of the world that once was, and of Elidibus himself. In this, we would be best served going directly to his home, much as Emmet Selk came to ours.
Though I see the wisdom in thy suggestion, the Amarot we visited is but a phantom born of Emmet Selk's memory. I fear it will teach us little that we do not already know.
I quite agree. Yet the ruins of the actual city remain unexplored. Given the vastness of the Tempest, I should not be surprised were there more such structures like to those in which the Ondo reside.
As long as you don't make me do any more chores.
Keep that up and I'll send you to bed without supper.
Ugh. But I like my supper.
Assuming we are all in agreement, then I suggest we first pay a visit to the Ondo. If anyone can tell us where more ruins are to be found, it is them.
Alpha now has the right of it. Let us pay a visit to the Ondo. We should speak with Tosh Oth first. As chieftain, he is doubtless privy to a great many secrets. This way. I sent for no finless ones. Perhaps you'll come seeking something of us. Ruins of which your kind have yet to explore, I see. I know one such place. Alas, under circumstances, I'm afraid we can spare none to guide you there. And what circumstances are these? Rather than hunt for our own meals, the Bentos have pillaged our stores of Minieri liver. They must be replenished with haste. The Bentos, a particularly violent tribe of Ondo, I recall. Band of bottom feeders. We all lost them much in the flood, but while others work to rebuild, they resort to thievery and murder. Revenge, they call it, when they prey upon your kind, but do not be fooled. They care not who they harm. Would that we had the warriors to challenge them. It is not the first time they have stolen from us. But there is no resource more precious than liver. All must dedicate themselves to hunt. Unless, of course, we reclaim the livers for you. Seems fitting payment for vital information, does it not? Moreover, one could argue by employing Bismarck to reach these depths, thereby driving back the waters, we are in part responsible for the deeds of those driven to desperate ends by the changing climes. Yeah, one good turn and all that. I thought you might say that. You've never been one to miss an opportunity to help. Reclaiming the stalls it is, then. We would be grateful beyond words if you did. The Ventos have surely taken the levers back to Flanders floor, but be warned, there will be no shortage of guards waiting to spear intruders. Then we will have care not to draw their attention, shall we? Ugh, that's so far. Sorry, I'm looking for Reen. If I'm remembering something correctly, she ends up in a spot she should not be in, and there's something else there. There's Thancred. There's Orion Shang. There she is. The Shubal is staring at Reen, just staring. How did it get down here? I haven't forgotten why we're here, I swear. Only this bird hasn't taken its eyes off me since I found it. I think it might be lonely. How did the bird get down here? I think it's this clammy cask. Could be wrong. Chris, your snip, you think the festival a far cry from the... Yep. They still like their oranges down here. And it's like you find they're all filled with wheat. Down at the bottom, you also find that raw wheat is unpleasantly pointy. At least it's a bedraggled box. Looks filled with assorted vegetables. Liver is not a vegetable. Okay, then where is it? Ah. When the squelching noises make the prodding of the vile stench, you conclude these bags are bursting with livers. Brilliant. Are those them? Judging by the squish and the smell, absolutely. Perhaps you've deduced this already, but it seems the Ventos have been raiding Colusian storehouses as well as those of the Ondo. Oranges, pumpkin, wheat. Well, we can discuss this after we see the liver safely back to Tulsov. Wouldn't do to keep him in suspense. I am relieved to see you unspared. Our precious livers, I knew you would not fail. We also found all manner of foodstuffs from Calusia on the flounders floor. Tell me, Tosath, does that seem odd to you? It is brazen, to be sure. I'm reminded of the rumors I recently heard concerning a rash of thefts from Calusian warehouses. The perpetrators entered in the dead of night and are gone before anyone has realized what happened. The Yulmoran army has been investigating thus far, but to no avail. Perhaps the reason they have struggled is because of quarries of the sea. The true question then is what we mean to do about it. But as I would like to proceed to the ruins without further delay, we cannot allow the Bentos to carry on as they are. If I may, I believe the ruins are in fact key to the Bentos' plans. Is that so? These ruins, which lie deep within the illuminated land, are a recent discovery. We have seen signs that the Bentos are preparing to claim them with all haste. We could not fathom why, but in light of the knowledge, they have been stockpiling resources. Excuse me. It is clear the Queen will soon give birth. They require space to raise the young and food for both Queen and hatchlings to thrive. Well, we can hardly fault them for that. Under no circumstances, perhaps, but conditions in the Tempest are far from suitable for spawning. Its resources barely able to sustain our current population. There's only one reason they would disregard this. They seek to build an army, and better take revenge upon the Finless. It is not surprise. They came to us not long ago seeking allies for the cause. We rebuffed them, of course. The suffering of others will not serve as balm to their own. The Queen, however, desires only bloodshed. Will gladly send her children to die in her stead. They are planning to wage war, then that changes matters considerably. My Twitch chat did not update itself, which is an issue, because I saw that little notification in my top right corner. Hopefully a quick refresh will fix that. Ah, Astral Wolf. How you doing? I like that. Little cactuar is like, hi. Indeed. I doubt this could be resolved without violence, but perhaps a show of force can convince them to see reason before the die is cast. As soon as I wrap up this cycle of the patch for this part, it seems that the parts for New Game Plus are in a 3-patch cycle, so 6.1, 2, and 3. I'm currently on 6. I say 6. It's 5. Just 5.2. And then I'm going to lie down and take a break for the rest of the day because I'm starting to get a bit of a headache. It's not there yet, but a nap will nip it in the bud. I would rather not risk your people... that's you still speaking. I would rather not risk your people in the attempt. If we are to travel illuminated land, is there a way we might identify the ruins ourselves? Yes, once you reach its depths, go deeper still. You will see a monstrous structure there upon the seafloor. That you have come to us now is the will of the Ancient Ones. They have guided you here that you may drive out the usurpers, those who seek to use their magnificent creations with vile purpose. I have no doubt that they will show you the way forward. I'm afraid that the dead do not speak quite so clearly. Nevertheless, we shall try not to disappoint. Wait, you get to walk that was fun. Final Fantasy XIV is too awesome. Okay. Well, this is New Game Plus, and if you can clearly tell by the weapon strapped upon my back about where I got that weapon. I'm just doing this all again before DawnTrail comes out, but I really gotta kick it into high gear before early access kicks in. Because once that kicks in, I'm gonna be power leveling Viper as fast as I can, and then tackling on DawnTrail. Uriante, if what we seek lies deeper still, beyond Amarat, I would call upon the assistance of another. I know at the end of this, I fight you-know-who. But, I'm level 90, and currently, well, wielding the Voidcast Greatsword, but it's the Mandible Greatsword because that is styling profiling with my outfit for the Warrior of Darkness. Though our course hath remained decided, to pursue it we needs beseech the aid of a friend. I speak of Bismarck. Pray follow me to Sullen, that we might seek an audience with him once more. Which one's closer again? They're about the same distance, but this is a more straighter shot. Fortunately, I don't have much to do with Endwalker. All I have to do is the main scenario for it. Because I've been caught up in streaming the patch quest. So that's done and dusted. What I don't have is my original 13-hour stream of the final part of Endwalker. Then again, I'm kind of glad I don't have it because I was in a very, very dark place at the time. So the entire stream was silent. But I know it's going to tug at my heartstrings again. Okay, not voiced. From here, we press onward to the Isle of Ken. I myself shall proceed on foot. Almost said afoot. You perfected your technique then? Just so. The water will be as glass beneath my feet, and provided purchase fragile yet true. Watch closely. Oh, I certainly shall. Forgive me, but would it not be easier to perfect your swimming technique? Aye, 'twould be a pity if you drowned, truly. Oh hush, I'm sure it would be brilliant. He's done it! Incredible! Orion J! Oh, for the love of... Mine apologies. The techniques require the purest of focus, and mine was lacking. To perfect this magic, I went so far as to deal with the Faust, and with their aid, mine efforts finally met with success, albeit on a single occasion. I know not why I cannot repeat it. I thought I saw you waver a bit towards the end there. Perhaps you're simply tired? Thancred? That's nothing to worry about, only a dizzy spell, though it may not be wise to go for another swim just now. Thankfully, we have an alternative. A wonderful little invention, I'm certain you'll agree. The boat. I will petition Bismarck's aid on our behalf. Let us pray my diplomacy proveth more effective than mine experimental magics. You speak with the voice of the king, little neighbors. I will not deny you. As before, if you seek what sleeps beneath the sea, I shall be your guide. Thy kindness is as boundless as the depths, serene one. Before we depart, however, I would ask a favor. After our last flight, I found many creatures clinging to me. I am itchy. Remove them, and I will take you below. With all haste shall it be done. I cannot scratch myself. So, did he agree? I agreed to a favor in kind. Regrettably, 'tis not one I possess the power to grant. Bismarck bade us to cleanse his underbelly of barnacles. Alas, one must needs dive beneath the surface to do so. Even if I could master the power to walk upon, it would avail me not. Oh, for heaven's sake, is that all? Nier and I are more than capable of that. With the Kojin's blessing, we'll have it done in moments, and better than standing here and listening to this nonsense. I'll take the right, you take the left. Now go. Yes, ma'am. She's like, oh, for the love of... Just get to the point. I am in your debt. Just, you know, try not to drown. Oh, come on. Just let me... There we go. Alright, come on, off the whale. Let's go. Bottom feeders. Thine efforts are most sincerely appreciated. I will inform Bismarck that we may depart without further delay. Much, much better. Thank you, little neighbors. I remember a long time ago another did this favor for me. After the flood, when I chose this spot for my slumber, He came and made a home on my back. Ken was his name. When I grew itchy, I stirred. But he was not afraid. No, he asked me what was wrong. I told him of the creatures clinging to my belly, and he dove into the water and he helped me. He was my friend. He told me he wished to live in peace away from his people and their wars. This I understood. I treasured our time together, brief though it was, brief though it always is. But I remember him, and how he laughed when we flew. I remember when he slept. I slept that day, and many days since. But the light fades, and the darkness returns. Ken sleeps, but in memory he laughs, and together we fly. And I am here. I am awake. It feels good to speak and to be heard again. A shame others cannot understand me. If thou art willing to learn, I will gladly teach thee the language of man. Thank you, little friend. But it is time I grant you your request. But first, I will take flight to cleanse my body and prepare. The dive will be swift, and I would not have you struck by errant debris. So, this island was named for a man. How easily the past is forgotten. He passed not even 100 years ago, yet the truth has slipped from history, like so many grains of sand. Might I have some explanation of what he just said, or shall we all stand about making vague and mysterious illusions? While he maketh ready to deliver us unto our destination, Bismarck bade him wait for on the shore of Calusia. That's all? I feel as though there was more to it. Indeed there was, but it hath no bearing on the task at hand. I shall be glad to share the rest with you anon. Fine, later then. No. Bismarck requires time to prepare, mine is just a short respite for Orion Jane Thancred in particular. I require no such thing. I am in the picture of perfect health. Mine was but a momentary lapse in concentration. Worry not on my account. You mustn't push yourself so. Please rest. For me. Oh no, she's giving the puppy eyes. Oh, alright, if you insist. What about me? You too, Niran. You've been running yourself ragged. I'm fine. Yes, ma'am. In that case, I'll leave the old men in your care. The rest of us will meet you at the split hall anon. Word of advice, never let it show. When she realizes she struck a nerve, she remembers. By the gods, she remembers. In any case, if we must be made to rest, I know a place in Solon that's better for it than most. Come with me. May as well have a seat. We wouldn't want our elderly knees to give out. To hear her speak, you'd think I'd be on my deathbed. By the 12, I wish that girl wouldn't worry so much. Thy countenance belies thy words, Master Thancred. I'm sure I don't know what you mean, but let the record show that I am here under protest. Though, I can't say I mind the view. Yeah, the cloudy night sky. Beautiful. And the abundance of algal is any indication, even an amateur might land an impressive catch. Shall we try our hands at it? I'm something of a fisher myself, you know. Someone... quickly... It's Nightshade. We were attacked on the road for the Exterior. Barely escaped with my life. I suppose we might have predicted this. You mean you'll help? For free? Thank you. If I recall correctly, Nightshade is a local band of outlaws. I doubt there'll be much trouble trouble us over much. No more than they already have by interrupting our relaxation at any rate. Oh, hey, it's Sailor, the other guy. These two have matters well in hand by the looks of it. Oh, don't forget this kindness. May we meet again. Hey guys. Is that you, sir? Don't tell me we just deprived the poor fellow of the honor of being rescued by the Warrior of Darkness. You had no idea you were in the area. Fancy meeting us again so soon, eh? Why, I believe I even recognize your companion. Ah, yes, from the infirmary. You had a message for the Crystal Exarch, did you not? Good to see you back on your feet, and on patrol, no less. Oh, it's nothing as official as all that. Strictly speaking, we're off duty. As we had a free moment, we thought to give a few of the less traveled roads a look. God doesn't have enough hands to patrol them regularly, you see. That's admirable. There are a few so devoted to their duty in Lakeland and beyond. Well, we've been talking about it for a while, and none of us is satisfied with just seeing out our service. Feels like we could be doing more, like we should be doing more. It's all about having the will to help the fellow man and the resolve to see it through. Ah, I remember you, the excitable one. Sorry, sir. Got a bit overexcited the other day. Couldn't get my words out. Name's Venat, sir. I'm with the guard, but I just don't want to protect Lakeland. I want to protect the lot, just like the Warriors of Light. Itchy nose. Sadly, our duties prevent us from venturing too far from our own little corner of Northrend. What we'd really like to do is travel, to better ourselves and go where the need is greatest. But everyone has to start somewhere, don't they? For now, if we can stop Nightshade, or robbing the odd fisherman, then that's what we'll do. Itchy nose. Well, well, future heroes of the first, do you think? They want naught but spirit. 'Tis but a pity they draw inspiration from so clouded a wellspring. Yet it availeth us not to fret on idleness. We must needs press on if we are to bring Elidibus' schemes to light. Sorry, I had to answer a message. That's why I got a little quiet. Though our respite was cut short, I dare say we are all eager to avail ourselves of such knowledge as the runes may hold. I doubt further contemplation of Elidibus' machinations will be conducive to relaxation. May as well make for a split hole now. Do-do-do. All are present. Now we need to wait. Bismarck's coming. Tis time. Pray make ready. Flying whale. Anamnesis Anyad Anader. Anider. Alright. Really? There we go. Just saw her footsteps. Calusian Crab King. Nah. Oh. Oh. A potion seller. So we got a Reaper, a Bard, and a White Mage. Ah. This dungeon's so cool. Hey. Uh-oh. It's a jellyfish from Eureka. Uh-oh. Potion seller, no. Use your potions. I'll use a potion on the potion seller. Oh no, it healed me instead. Where are we going? Where are we going? We're going over here then. Well, the healer's dead. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm dying. Duh. And the DPS are done. Dun, dun, dun. That was just unfortunate. Uh-oh. Nice. Ooh. I keep. That one goes in the trash heap. Let's see how much is too much. Apparently, that was not too much. Visions of hell attend to us now. Skyclops. Uh-oh. Ooh, never mind. Ow. That's a slight. This dungeon is hitting a little hard. Level 90. Level 80 gear. And potion sellers rocking 90 gear. gloves of casting. Oh, actually, I kind of like. Agreed. Pass. Dang. Touch. Oh. Oh, no, you don't. Dang. Summoned a bunch of floating eyeballs. Tell my healer what to do, but thank you for the regen, finally. Dun, 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 dun. Merciless matriarch, Rux's steam. Your kind has never given its lives so willingly, choices willingly. Your lives will be no different. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Go back to the island. I don't know why you would move to that one when you're already standing on one. Almost done. I mean, I don't know why you would not give it to the Reaper. Alright, we killed the pregnant lady. Congrats. With a goth, a potion seller, and a princess. Get the calm. Hose of aiming. I agreed. I got 2-player comms.
This structure must have served an important function. And here are yet more crystals.
I too noted the crystal repository on the way. The Benthos seem to employ them in their spellcasting.
In such vessels did the ancients preserve concepts, ideal forms to be drawn upon in the act of creation. That so great an abundance should reside here lendeth credence to Ishtola's conclusion. This facility held great significance.
thank you for joining us at Anada in these most perilous of times. By the summoning of Zodiac, we have been granted a reprieve. Yet immutable as the laws he has woven may seem, they will not serve to forestall our doom. Nay, should we continue down this path, our fate will be the same. As I said much to the convocation, of course, but the stubborn fools turned a deaf ear to my warnings. I had hoped that the defector, at least, would side with us, but I regret to report our overtures have gone unanswered. Would attend your thoughts, Venat. Where you lead, we will follow. I shall not speak ill of the convocation. They too seek only to secure the future of our star. Yet it is plain they will not countenance a permanent solution. That being the case, we must ask ourselves a simple question. Are we prepared to pursue our chosen course, even should it mean suffering the eternal condemnation of our brethren? If so, I see no further reason to demur. Let us bring forth the light that shall ever keep the darkness in check.
So, it was they who first summoned Hydaelyn.
Their discussion did seem to imply as much, yes. I cannot say I have ever heard of this Venat before.
For a certainty, Emmet Selk never uttered the name, speak though he did, of the schism which Zodiac's advent wrought upon mankind. Some were of the viewpoint that his power must needs be restrained, and to that end did they call forth she who would serve as his shackles. We now know that it was this Venat to whom they looked for leadership.
And that this place, in all likelihood, served as their headquarters. The presence of such intimate records attests to that. I would hear what else they have to tell us. All of it. Did anyone see the source of the image?
Oh, that rock over there lit up.
The device there? Then let us see what other secrets it holds.
Venat, please. Why must it be you? If I may speak plainly, I would sooner swear another. Any other. You are our leader. None can take your place. You know as well as I that for the few support our cause, far fewer they know who place their faith in Zodiac. If Hydaelyn is to stand a chance of opposing him, I am the only one who might suffice as a heart. Rest assured, however, I shall not vanish from this world, if all my take shall ever remain my choice. Then I will press you no more. Only know this, you will be sorely missed. I wonder, is this how the convocation felt about Elidibus?
What? Forgive me, but did that not strongly imply that Elidibus sacrificed himself to become Zodiac's heart?
7 hells. Then who or what are we dealing with?
The device appears to completely activated by some form of ethereal attunement, not unlike an aetherite. Beyond that, I can say little for certain, say that we should take this opportunity to see what other records it contains. No response. Confound it. If I may, milady, the panel did formerly emit a soft yet perceptible glow. That a thought so no longer may betoken to a depletion of some essential energy within. Given how long it's lain dormant, I think it's fortunate it functioned at all. That may be, but if we can't get it to work again, we'll be leaving with more questions than we've answered. White-robed emissary hath ever named himself Elidibus. Yet if the shade spoke true, Elidibus ceased to be ere this fall the sundering even came to pass. This calleth to mind the truth that Emet-Selch did once reveal in passing. The names by which we know our foes are not those given to Ascians at birth. Rather, they are titles of office afforded to individuals of merit at such time as the role becomes vacant. Perchance the Elidibus at Zodiac's heart and the emissary with whom we are acquainted with are not but one and the same, but predecessor and successor. It's possible, if the previous Elidibus perished before the final days, the one we could know could be a survivor of the Sundering. And yet something in that explanation rings false. I'll remain for a time, not abandon my attempts to revive the device so soon. There's more to learn here, I can feel it. In matters of aetherology, I know none as capable as thee. There existeth a means to learn more, thou wilt surely find it. Whilst thou art thus engaged, we shall attend to matters on the surface. Can we but uncover Elidibus's true origins, we may yet come to understand his designs. To that end, Y'shtola must needs be afforded as much time as she doth require to complete her investigation. To the extent at which things are within our control, yes. Speaking of which, perhaps we might trouble the Exarch for news on his progress with the spirit vessel. We'll no doubt wish to hear of our own discoveries as well, such as they are.
Dare I ask what's going on?
Ah, excellent timing. For me, in any case. We have a problem. The vast majority of those gathered here are presently in the employ of the Guard or else one of the facets, and no longer wish to be so. In principle, all are free to change vocation at any time. But a city does require a certain number of people in these positions if it is to continue to function. For the moment, I have asked them to postpone their resignation until such time as replacements can be found. As you may have surmised, we have the Warrior of Light to thank for this.
It's you! The Warrior of Darkness!
You understand, don't you? Someone's going to have to look after this place once you're gone. We just want to be ready to do our bit when the time comes.
And not only here, but everywhere. Which is why we've got to get out there and lend a hand to those in need. That's what you did, isn't it? Even if it was just little things at the start. You helped people.
People, chocobos, you named it. Well, yes. At the start.
And we're trying to do the same. We may have our sky back, but there's no shortage of people who still need help. If we follow in your footsteps, then I choose to believe we too can be heroes one day. Even warriors of light.
Really, you two? Sure. It's not a threat to my livelihood, sure. Just my, sure, whatever, look.
What are we to say to that? We can hardly tell them they are mistaken. They seek but to do good, as you have.
True.
But no more can we stand idly by and suffer a paragon's scheme to proceed unchallenged.
What? Huh, that's funny. Rain wasn't in the forecast.
What's happening to the sky? What the?
Wicked White. Oh no.
By the 12.
A star shower.
I hear a voice.
You and all? And why does it feel like it's inside my head?
Hear? Feel? Think? I hear it.
Me too.
Did I not tell you, my friends? You are warriors of light! You're back! What you hear is the voice of light itself, and it has blessed you with its power. Welcome to the fold!
I'm a warrior of light.
I've been chosen?
Can it be?
Me, a hero.
Wait!
falling stars? Were they your doing? And why do you need warriors of light?
What, am I to reveal my plans simply because you asked?
Yes.
Nay, I think not. Though the stars, I acknowledge mine. A convenient illusion, apt to awaken what little is left of the power that once resided in your sundered souls. That which you and yours call the echo. And an echo it is, of a symphony, but a fraction of what men in their completeness once possessed. Even those among you who tower over others in the gift have only the faintest trace of it. But though sundered and forgotten through death and mocking rebirth, it has persisted. A whisper of our past, burned into your very ether, along with the sight of our end. Through the rekindling of memory, I have awoken the ability, just as Hydaelyn is wont to do when she has need of new minions.
The Echo hath ever been thought a gift from Hydaelyn, a boon granted solely to her chosen. Yet thou wouldst claim she merely awakeneth the power that men should hearken unto. Her voice. Given the perceived simultaneity of her call and the awakening of her chosen's capacity to hear it, it is only natural that we thus attributed the source of the gift. Yet if, in truth, the echo is a prerequisite for hearing her voice, one might surmise that her call never ceaseth, such that all who awaken to their innate gift might receive of the blessing of light at the self-same instant. In sooth, we bore witness to this but moments ago. At the sight of the star shower, full many in the crowd did speak of hearing a voice in their minds, did they not?
Just so. And whenever Hydaelyn has need of new servants, she is quick to pluck comets from the heavens or create illusions of the same.
Why then didst thou conjure this vision, full knowing that thine age-old foe would thus claim those awakened to the gift?
Foe? You must be mistaken. As you see, I am a warrior of light. And together with my comrades in arms, I shall save the world. Just like you.
The more Elidibus reveals, the less I understand. But that he has made a fine mess of things is plain. He is gone then. I've managed to persuade a number of those would-be deserters to reconsider, or at least delay their departure, but many are deaf to my entreaties. The young Thaler and Venat among them. Sorry to say, they have quit the guard. Nevertheless, I wish them well, whatever Elizabeth's plans for them might be. They have only ever had the best of intentions. One can hardly blame them for thinking themselves heroes elect, not after being blessed with the echo. It's not as if they haven't shown the requisite spirit. I quite agree. Though the impetus for their sudden departure may have been words falsely spoken, the men and women of those whose footsteps they would follow are heroes in truth, warriors of light. Ardbert, yourself most of all. And so I would ask a favor of you. Speak with them ere they embark on that journey, first and with what wisdom you can. They've set off for Amaro launch, but you'll still be able to catch them if you leave now. Worth the effort, I'd say. If I recall correctly, Raubon took the time to usher you out into the wider world many moons ago. I think that comparison rather... that's Alpha now. I was reading that as Oriente. I think that the comparison rather flatters Thaler and Venat, but the point still stands. They would doubtless be greatly encouraged by the Warrior of Darkness himself to see them off. Yeah, I'll say goodbye. Thou art willing, I prithee go. Thou mayest safely leave the task of unfolding that which transpire of Adamesis to us. You again? I mean, it's you, sir. Sorry. It's been a funny old day. I hear you two are leaving. I mean, good luck on your adventures, you two. You can be sure we'll take those words to heart. I still can't believe it. You coming all this way just to speak to us. So we won't let you down. So long as it helps someone, we'll do whatever it needs doing, no matter how small. When it comes to larger threats loom, we'll be ready to face them. You see if we aren't. Well, what are you waiting for? Get out there. We'll be off then. Farewell, Warrior of Darkness. And thank you. Godspeed, gentlemen. Thank you for making the effort. I'm certain your words will be a boon to them. While you were away, the others told me of your investigation. We have yet to discuss how to proceed, however. Well, your findings in Amnesis and Enida do raise important questions as to the identity of our adversary. We are no closer to discerning his design, nor do I know of any other potential avenue of investigation. For which reason we must needs trust Ystola's ingenuity and wait for her efforts to revive the Ancient's device to bear fruit. What if I were to follow the emissary? Elusive as he is, his plan compels him to court public attention. He shouldn't be impossible to find. Especially for one of your expertise. Does seem worth the attempt. Then I'll come with you. Safety in numbers. In combat, perhaps, but where stealth is required, the opposite is true. Happily, I don't plan on getting myself caught, so you needn't worry. Nor do I intend to vanish for moons on end. We still have the empty to attend to, don't we? Alright then. Look forward to your return. Then it sounds like the rest of us should avoid doing anything which might prompt Elidibus to look too closely at our movements. Insofar as possible, I recommend we limit our activities to the Crystarium. Speaking of which, Exarch, might I ask if you made any progress with the spirit vessel? Of course, we are presently studying the principles underpinning memory transference. I believe nearing the requisite level of understanding. Dishearteningly, practical trials of transference methods suited for use with the vessel have yet to yield satisfactory results, to put it mildly. But there are still many promising possibilities we have yet to test. Indeed, though it may take some time yet, we are well on our way to a solution. And I shall not rest until one is found. Though we are all grateful for thy unstinting efforts, thou needest not labour to the exclusion of all else. If it would serve to lighten thy burden, however little, I shall gladly offer mine assistance. Quite. For I, for my part, will do what I can to ensure the Crystarium continues to run smoothly, in spite of recent disruptions. Then perhaps I could help. There must be something I can do, even if it's just guard duty. Thank you, all of you. I shall breathe easier for your assistance. Of course, on the evidence of recent past, it will not be long before some new crisis arrives to throw all plans into disarray, of which time your services will be of particular demand. That being the case, perhaps you might take this opportunity to retire to your seat independence? Sure. Hold on, I gotta make a joke. Pleasure as always, Master Luciferus. Relieved to blah blah blah. Yes, let me in. Oh, what a day. Ah. Master Luciferus, it's Glinard from the Wandering Stairs. I apologize for calling so late. Ah. Hey, it's no worries. What's up? A friend of yours was asking after you. You may remember them from the business with the cardinal virtues. Oh, I get to pick one. I'm gonna go with Granson. Oh. Grandson. Well met, Cinna. To seat my great sword in arms, brother. I was looking forward to a welcome respite here in the Crystarium, but the mood here is not exactly conducive to relaxation, as I'm sure you've noticed. Aye, I'd wager you know more about what's going on more than anyone else in the city. Care to share? Alright, so this is gonna sound really weird, but the Ardbert that's going around is an imposter. I don't know what his plans are, but stamping against him is counterintuitive. Can't say that I envy your prey. Dark work, the twisting of the Warrior of Light's legacy, reminds me of what became of old the Kyocene. Though this ascian of yours is a fair bit more chatty. I'm tempted to silence him myself. Brendan made his mistakes. Sure, they all did. But the past is the past. They've earned their rest. Not about to let him sully Ardbert's good name. What? I'm gonna leave it to you. Yup. This is not a foe you can fight. Right, right. I'm not the only one carrying all that weight. Very well. But only because you asked. Remember, if you ever need me, just say the word. I'll be there. Meanwhile, in the Crystal Tower's umbilicus. Meanwhile, in its umbilicus.
Foiled again. If I cannot imbue the infernal thing with my power via magical means, we may need to devise a way to infuse the vessel with my blood after all.
Art thou unwell?
Or perhaps a brief respite? It wouldn't do to overtax yourself.
I'm fine. And given to stubbornness, I'm afraid. Especially when I have a stake in the outcome.
The dream again.
Meanwhile, in the source, thousands of miles away.
A recurring dream. They do so fascinate me. Might I trouble you for the details?
No, it's my dream. Get your own.
I have always dreamed of it. Fire falling from the heavens, and the city, nay, the whole world ablaze.
Indeed. Could Emmett Selk have found a way? Precious few possess memories of the final days.
The final days?
Why, yes. Admittedly, my knowledge is mostly second-hand, but if you are interested, I will gladly tell you the tale. The tale of the world's end.
Oh, okay, gonna call this for tonight. Gonna continue tomorrow, and if I can, even squeeze out, possibly, the Eden raids. I might not. I don't know yet. This might be saved for another day. That'll be it for tonight. Have a good evening, everyone.